Hey friends, it's Jay Rye. Thanks for coming back to the channel today, back in Costa Rica with my friend Ruben.
Hola, pura vida.
Ruben, what are we doing? Where are we?
Well, first of all, very welcome to the Sloth territory.
Yes.
And so the name says everything, right?
Absolutely.
So what we're going to try today is finding some sloths.
I love it.
Yes.
Sloths are difficult sometimes to find.
See, they are a little difficult, but we have a couple of surprises around the trail.
Yes, and you need an expert because lots of times if you go out looking, on your own, it's very, very hard. So anyway, let's do it. Time for some sloths.
Go for it.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
So my friend Ruben that I just introduced you to, I have seen Ruben since the first day I ever went to Costa Rica years ago. He was the first person I saw when I got off the plane, and I see Ruben basically every time I return to Costa Rica. He's now working at Sloth Territory. We're standing here right now in their lobby and watching this video, which is kind of cool, of some of the things that we can see while we are here. The great thing I love about this property, and Ruben will tell us more about it as we walk through, is that this is not a zoo. This is not a place where the animals are caged. The animals are free to come and go as they wish. So perhaps on some days there may not be any animals to see. That's not happening today. But I love that the animals have their own free will. They're not being caged. This is not a rescue. This is not a zoo. There is no entrapment. This is, again, one of the wonderful things about this particular location called Sloth Territory, just outside of Arenal, Costa Rica.
Right, so we're going to give it a chance. Today, we have one rarity. We have one rare thing. Tenemos una cosa extraña hoy. Tenemos un perezoso en el suelo. En el suelo. We have a sloth on the ground with a baby, and this is a rare thing. Because sloths are animals, they live most of the time in the top of the trees, and you know how many times they come down to the ground? ¿Saben cuántas veces vienen al suelo? ¿Ni idea?
Dos.
Una vez a la semana. You know why?
Why?
Because they need the bathroom.
Oh.
So Ruben's already hitting us with the receipts here. So the sloth is staying up in the tree for the entire week, comes down once a week just to use the bathroom, is what he was just telling us. And next, he's also going to describe very quickly here the two different kinds of sloths that we see here in Costa Rica, between the two-toe and the three-toed sloth.
¿Verdad? Dos dedos y tres dedos. Okay? They are completely different, and they belong to one order. The order is called xenarthra. Pertenecen a un orden que se llama xenarthra. Por ejemplo, los monos pertenecen al orden primate. No tienen absolutamente nada que ver con los perezosos. Right? For example, I was telling the ladies, monkeys belong to the primate order, and sloth to the xenarthra. Primates, Africa, the old continent. Xenarthra from the Orinoco River, Brazil. And they began to move in migration around 40 million years ago with the Pangea, when finally Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama today emerge out of the bottom of the ocean. It connects the both masses of land, so it brings predators and brings herbivores. That's when they...
So we're not wasting any time here. We just started the tour and we're already getting our first sighting. This is a mother sloth with the baby sloth, and they're down on the ground currently. Obviously sloths don't move very quickly, so we have plenty of time to take some pictures and see what they're up to.
Es un animal omnívoro. Quiere decir que además de comer insectos, come hojas y come frutos. So besides insects, they eat fruits, they eat leaves. Ella tiene una herida. It is hurt. If you pay attention, the left hand, it has only one claw. We don't know the reason, but we believe that the reason why it's on the ground is because it's too heavy to hold the baby and herself with one claw.
¿Dónde tiene
La cara parece como cara de cerdito. Un hocico, un snout. Sí. It's like a piggy face. Esta it also tells you that it has caninos para morder presas. Y el bebé.
¿Y cuándo sube ella? ¿Cuándo sube otra vez?
No ha subido.
¿Desde hace cuánto?
Desde hace como 2 meses.
2 meses de
estar ahí.
Baby malo.
Qué lindo.
How old do you estimate the baby is?
It's approximately 3 months old.
3 months.
Sí. We tell because of the size. It could be around the 3 months old.
How old is the mom?
The mom, it depends. They enter the sexual maturity after 4-year-old. So he's older than 4-year-old.
Older than 4? How long do they usually live?
Oh, up to the 15 years in nature. In captivity, they kept one for 25 years.
I am truly stunned. I have seen sloths in Costa Rica. I have been on many, many nature tours. I have never been this close to a sloth and its baby. And wow, it was so great. And we were being respectful, obviously not to disturb the animal, you know, not to frighten her or the baby. But wow, what a great sighting. And this was just right at the start of the tour. Amazing.
A sloth on the ground that long.
Right?
So friends, today in the trail, besides have the opportunity to find some sloths, I'll also give it a try to get you other surprises.
Okay.
In occasions we can see some frogs and other kind of things, so I really hope so that I can show you more than just a sloth, ¿verdad? Espero que poder mostrarles más que solo perezosos, porque hay mucha variedad de diferentes animales.
Ajá.
Sí, hay ranitas, hay muy rara vez.
Not really.
Is the little brown looks like a squirrel down there. Right over here, friends, you have one of the rare animals, because the porcupines you have, they live on the ground. They live on the trees. They do not like to live in the ground. Right?
So what are we looking at?
It's a tree porcupine.
It's amazing.
It's a juvenile, it's a baby.
I thought it was a red squirrel at first because I had one of those. It has a similar look, right?
See? ¿Quieres ver?
So we continued venturing through sloth territory. We just saw that porcupine. We did see some red frogs. They were so tiny, my footage didn't come out great, so sorry about that. But let's continue. See, on the white?
Eso, a cachete, Jason conoce.
Do you need an assistant?
I do really need you to come work with me, man.
I'm ready.
How old do you think that monkey is?
It's definitely a grown-ass adult.
2 for 1.
See, that's another male, but it's young male. I have 2 young males. And he's gone. And the other one, you can see is you definitely can say that it's a male. It's a howler mantle monkey. O mantle howler monkey. Es el mono aullador. No, eso que suena es un ave. Es un pájaro que se llama el manakín. Como like a firecrack. Es un manakín. Es a white color manakín. El manakín collarejo blanco.
This is so great. It's just like one sighting after another. Like, this is the most perfect day. We've got the howler monkeys now, and you know, we've got Ruben. We're with Ruben's group. There's another group that's just ahead of us. So that's actually really helpful too, because the other group is pre-sighting some of these animals, and so we're having our own sightings, and then we get the benefit of seeing what they're looking at as well. So this day is working out perfect. This is a female?
That's a female, yeah.
That's like a female.
They have orange back. The male, they have orange back.
I see.
You see the insect in the hair. They have many. It's all polilla. Yeah, that's a full size. Yes.
This is a pretty big move for this guy. It's a lot of movement.
This particular sloth you're looking at right now, we literally stood here and watched her for about 25 minutes. And she moved between 3 different trees. And it was a very slow process. I'm not going to show you every minute of it. But when you think about the amount of ground that she ended up covering, or not ground, but the amount of, space she covered from moving from limb to limb across these trees, it actually was pretty amazing.
Sadly, I have seen them before falling. No, see them falling, but I have seen them on the ground and fall.
Como hacen
Dude, talking about some
una
serious pull-ups right there, right?
Or
This guy can pull up his body like there's no tomorrow. Actually, it's a female. It's a girl. Yeah, that's a lot of movement.
If you pay attention, her back is only gray and green.
Yeah.
The males, naturally, they have a orange stripe on the back.
Oh, this is his feeding spot. She might fall on
Probably
you.
it's time to look for the house.
Actually
I
catch
have
that on the
noticed that he
camera.
likes to. The last 2 days surprised me because I've been looking and looking and I don't find it.
They don't fall off.
And at the end of the day, it's sleeping on this tree.
They know what range is good.
Kaylor and I came a couple of days ago. We couldn't find it, and it was right there at the end of the day. That's a very show. The show is going to be her going to the next tree.
Yeah.
That'll be the show. Eso va a ser un show completo para cuando se pase los cuartos.
You can hear the howler monkeys here, and they're close to the sloth. And someone asked if the howler monkeys ever bother the sloths or attack them, and the answer was no. So that's an extra little info snack for you.
For this show, I've been waiting.
My friends and I were just mesmerized watching this sloth slowly make her way across the branches. And there was another family there with us as well, and they had some small kids, so it was great. I mean, just what an amazing experience we all got to have together, and so unique as well. I've been to a lot of areas with animals, and it's never been like this. This is so fantastic.
All right, now he's posing.
Are growing from their belly to their back because their natural position is always laid back.
Well, also the back is the bed, right? So it's the
Like
mattress, like it's the comfort.
Y el agua se
That's how they
filtra.
wash their body.
Ajá, the water goes out of the reservoir.
Moviendo lento, ¿verdad?
Y son muy fuertes. Eso sí, aflójelo porque si no se queda. Son muy fuertes. Mira esta scar. Look at this scar right here. You see that scar? I lift one from the ground. It was not intelligent, but it was on the middle of the road, and I picked it up from the ground. Sloths, they don't lift the babies. Humans, we lift babies. So a sloth is never being lifted. So I grab the sloth from the ground and try to grab me with the leg. And it doesn't want to come. You saw the claw?
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Oh my God.
Chapa, echarle la manita. Ese chuchi no es mío.
No, no, lo vamos viendo ahí.
¿Ya lo van viendo?
Sí, sí, ya
So
vamos
you're not
viendo
supposed to
eso.
pick them up?
No. Right? So one more time. Rito is strictly herbivore. Daytime active, so it's diurnal. Uh-huh. And they have 3 claws, so 12 in total. They grow a little bit of gray hair and then it turns green. Right? And the 2-toe sloth is completely different. 2 toes, 2, 2, 3, and 3, so 10. The 2-toe sloth is nocturnal, is omnivore, which means besides eating leaves and fruits, they also eat insects. They visit the nest of the birds to eat eggs and juveniles. And it has canines.
Canines, yeah.
Son una señal de carnívora.
Oh,
Carnívoras
so the carnivore, like the
activity.
bears, they're
Uh-huh.
both sides. Okay.
Now, this is the deal. They don't chase after squirrels, right? They can't. But they do go for the plants and they move all of the roots and get the maggots and insects from out of it. Bradypus variegatus. In the South America is Bradypus tridactylus. 3. Right? So why variegatus? Because this one has a brown throat. The one in South America doesn't. So
And the gifts keep on giving. Now we spotted some toucans flying right over our heads.
This is the yellow-throated toucan. El yellow-throated toucan is the largest species of toucans in Costa Rica. The other name is Kioro. This is the rubber tree or latex.
This one, right? This one, yeah, that goes
Yeah.
all over the place. Yeah.
There was a time in the past, the beginning of the 1900s, the rubber was agriculture in the area.
Oh, really? So what do they still make a hole out of it and they put those little buckets on the bottom?
Correct.
I've seen it.
But they don't do it now anymore. Now they do all the ends to solve the problem of the traffic jams. So I told her the ends they don't go 100 miles per hour. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Ruben, so I've never heard of this sloth location before, but what makes this place different than some of the other ones we see in town?
Okay. So that's one of the first things to start with. This is a farm. The farm at the beginning was basically for agriculture, as farms are in Costa Rica. But then the owner always saw sloths and skid. So he started a project to what we're doing today. What we're going to do next is a sloth observation. And then the project has been here only 3 years. But the cool thing is that we have a river, but the river is surrounded by a lot of vegetation.
Yeah.
And the law in Costa Rica forbidding the cutting down of the trees by the riverside. So these animals are using the riverside and the trees to move back and forward from the mountains. And that way they move in freedom.
Right.
So we are not a rescue center.
Right.
We are not a hospital for animals. We are not a zoo. Right, so that's what, in my opinion, it makes unique the place.
So any given day, it could be completely different on what we're seeing because you're not controlling it.
Correct. That we do not control anything. The biggest number of sloths we have seen one day, 16. 16.
Amazing.
And one is being the lowest I ever found.
Right.
Yeah. So we are the sloth territory.
Okay.
We are like just 2 minutes away from La Fortuna town.
Yes.
So easy to get here
Yeah,
in a car.
it is. It was easy to find once I had it. Yeah.
The road is paved. You don't need a 4-traction car to come here.
Yeah.
It's just a big smile.
Yeah, it's really nice too because when you come, you're just coming onto a farm. It's not feeling super commercial. So it's very different.
Pretty organic,
Yes.
I say always.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
No, thank
so
you for
good to
being
see
here.
you. Thank you for watching. It is J Rai on J Rai World on YouTube and on Instagram. We'll see you next time. Bye. What a treat to be able to visit the sloth territory just outside of Arenal. See my friend Ruben hit this place up with my friend Amir and Larry. And wow, I can't believe how many animals we saw. This place is fantastic. I hope you get to visit it yourself. Stick right here with J Rai World for all of these great adventures. Become a member if you're digging it as well for those extra perks. All right, we'll see you here next time. Thanks, everybody.